All right, welcome to another episode of the Headlinesman. Let's dive right in with your 5A state playoff bracket preview. So the playoffs are here, and what that means is there's some teams that have gone home and some teams that have had a rough couple weeks as they've been eliminated from the playoffs. Hence this lovely clip from Jim Mora.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
But let's talk about the teams that have made the playoffs and what we can expect from them in the 5A classification. I've got the first game, Jordan versus Lehi. This is a home game for Jordan. These are two teams that I didn't have the opportunity to see play this year. I have gone through a couple of their game films, and so I've got a couple points for each team that I wanted to share as their keys to victory. First, let's start out with Jordan. Jordan on the defensive end needs to keep Lehi under 20 points. They're going to accomplish this by taking away the pass game for Lehi. Lehi does like to drop back and throw the ball around the field a little bit. If Jordan sells out to stop the pass game, it's going to make it really difficult for Lehi to score some points. Offensively for Jordan, they need to establish a running game. Looking back at their games this year, it looks like they've been hit or miss. The games that they're the most successful and that they play the best offensively is when they establish that run and they establish that early. So look for that as they go into this game on Friday afternoon. All right, let's talk about Lehi. Like I said, Lehi likes to throw the ball around. So offensively, they have a player that I really like, and that's Gentry Cox. He's a wide receiver for them. Get him the ball early and often in some open space. He'll make some plays for them. He'll get the ball down the field, and they will get some points early on in this football game. It's going to be really hard for Jordan to match that athleticism at the wideout position. All right, Lehi defensively. Kind of goes back to the point that I made with Jordan on the offensive side of the ball. Lehi needs to have Jordan prove that they can beat them by running the football. Lehi needs to sell out, stop the pass game, make sure that Jordan understands that they're going to have to run the ball to win the game. And that'll be a key point for them on Friday afternoon. Now, my pick in this game is Jordan. I expect Jordan to win a game that is close going into the fourth quarter, but I expect them to pull it out late in this game. All right, our next game in the bracket is Farmington at Skyridge. One thing I want to say to Farmington, they're a first-year school, so congratulations on making the playoffs in your first year. That's not a feat that's commonly done, so congratulations on that. Now, my one point with that, though, is now you've got to get ready to play a game, and you've got to get ready to go up against one of the best rushing offenses in the whole state. They're going to come at you. They're going to run the ball a lot and with a lot of power, so be ready to stop that. If you don't, you're going to have a rough day, and it's going to be a long one for you. Now, Skyridge, like I just pointed out, offensively, they need to keep doing what they do, which is run the football. They average over 260 yards a game, so I expect that to continue on Friday afternoon. And they also just need to continue dominating offensively. They've got some really great players on the offensive side of the ball. Their quarterback, Jaden Clemens, I really like him. Nathan Upham, wide receiver, I really like him. He's a great player as well. And then they've got an offensive lineman, Logan Sagapalu. He's one of the top recruits in the state as well. He is a fun guy to watch. He really just mauls people up front. And he is the reason why that run game is as good as it is. My last point with Skyridge, though, is defensively, they need to be more disciplined. Now, I've watched Skyridge play 3 or 4 games, both this year and last year, and I saw a common theme. They get really silly penalties. And what I mean by that is they get a lot of personal fouls, unsportsmanlike conducts, roughing the passer, just silly discipline, errors and mistakes. Those things need to be fixed if they want to compete for a state championship and beat some of the best teams in the 5A classification. All right, next game in the bracket is Roy versus whoever wins the play-in game of Wasatch and Maple Mountain. Now, in that play-in game, real quick, I fully expect that to be Wasatch. I saw Wasatch play this year. They're a really good football team. I expect them to beat Maple Mountain in that play-in game, and so I expect that to be Roy versus Wasatch at Roy. All right, my keys for Roy, whoever they end up playing, is that their quarterback, Jackson Dart, just needs to have the type of game he's been playing all year, which is making plays with his arm and with his feet, really helping that Roy offense be as dynamic as it's been this year. They've scored a lot of points, really made it difficult for opponents to stop them, and I expect that to continue on Friday afternoon. On defense, Roy is the better football team, and I don't think it's really that close, but they need to make sure that they come in confident and ready to stop whichever team that they end up getting. And obviously we'll know Tuesday night who they'll play. But I fully expect whoever it is that they'll come out, play a good game, and get the win. Now, my pick in this game is Roy to win this football game. And I believe that this will actually be one of the better games overall in this first weekend of the playoffs. All right, next game in the bracket is Timpview at Highland. I want to start out with Timpview. Timpview's got a great offensive line with Ken and Yarrow and the Child brothers anchoring that offensive line. They need to come out, and those three need to ball out and have a great game and really help Timpview take it to the Highland defense. If they're able to do that, if they're able to really run the ball the way that I know that they could make it really difficult for Highland to keep up. Defensively for Timpview, they need to stop the run. This is easier said than done. Highland has always done a great job at running the football and making it hard on opponents to get off the field, but they need to make sure that they do that on Friday in order to get the win. All right, so when we look at Hunter, let's talk about their defense first. They've got a defensive lineman, Caden Hilborn. He is a good football player. He really needs to help their defensive front seven stop the run that I just talked about with Timpview. It'll be really interesting to see the matchup between Caden Hilborn and a guy like Ken and Yarrow, who I'm a big fan of and I think is one of the better offensive linemen in the state. And I look forward to that as this game takes place on Friday. Highland's offense, on the other hand, they just really need to come out and impose their will on Timpview. What I mean by that is just give them a dose of their own medicine. They need to run the football. They need to play that type of offense that Highland typically does, which is just run the ball, get some big plays in the pass game, and put some points up early on Timpview. If they do that, they have a good chance to win this game on Friday. My pick in this game, it's the first upset of my 5A bracket, and that's Timpview pulling off the upset victory as they go up to Highland for that football game. All right, next game of the bracket is Springville at Box Elder. Now, I've seen Springville play in person this year. I really like what they have to offer offensively. Offensively, they're going to have to come out and make sure that they're getting the big plays in the pass game, run the football, and really have that balanced attack that's made them a good offensive football team this year. If they do that, they'll put Box Elder on their heels a little bit and really make this a good football game. Defensively for Springville, they need to stop Box Elder's run game. This is easier said than done. Box Elder really likes to line it up and run it right at you. They've done an extremely good job of doing that this year. So that'll be kind of the interesting back and forth with these two teams, is which team can stop the other one's run game. And I believe whoever does that will win this football game. All right, as I pointed out already, Box Elder likes to run the football. Bernard Pena is their stud in the backfield. He averages 5.2 yards per carry this year. I really expect him to have a good football game. And if he has the type of game he's been having as of late, I really expect Box Elder to win this game. Now, the task for Box Elder, like I had mentioned earlier, is that they need to make sure that they're stopping Springville's run game and make them one-dimensional, so they have to beat them with the pass. Again, like I said, if both these things come true for Box Elder, I really expect them to win this football game on Friday. My pick for this game is Box Elder. I am a little swayed to go with Springville, but I really believe at the end of the day, Box Elder's a better football team, and they're going to come away with a win. All right, the next game in the bracket is Alta at Olympus. First team I want to talk about is Alta. I really like Alta. They finished fourth behind, again, three really good football teams in Corner Canyon, Timpview, and Jordan. So don't be surprised if Alta gives Olympus a really good game. I know Olympus is unbeaten, but I really like this Alta football team. Now, the reasons why, in the backfield, they've got a young man by the name of Dallin Pan. If they can get him the ball in space, he's going to make some plays for them and get some points on the board early on. Defensively, they need to make sure that they stop Olympus's run game, make them more one-dimensional than they would like to be. If they can do both those things, they really stand a good shot at winning this game on Friday afternoon. All right, when we look at Olympus offensively, they need to do what they do best. They need to run the ball. They have accumulated just under 2,400 yards rushing this year, which when you add that up is close to 250 yards a game. They just need to focus on that and really take it to Alta's defense and make it difficult for them to stop them offensively. Now, Olympus is a good defensive football team. They don't give up many points. My key with them on the defensive side of the ball is they need to make Alta a passing team. They need to take away the run. They need to take away Dallin Pan, the kid I mentioned earlier. If they do that, it's going to be very difficult for Alta to win this game, despite how much I actually like them as a team. My pick here is Olympus. I like what Olympus does, especially defensively. It's really difficult to score on their defense, and I really think when push comes to shove, they're going to have more offensive firepower than Alta does. Next game in the bracket is Corner Canyon versus the winner of West and Murray. And in my opinion, this should be Murray. Murray is the better football team. They are more well-rounded, both offensively and defensively. So whoever ends up playing Corner Canyon, whether it's Murray or West, the keys are basically the same. They need to, on the defensive side of the ball, they need to stop Cole Hagan. Cole Hagan is Corner Canyon's quarterback. He's a dual threat guy, makes plays with his feet and with his arm. They need to limit him in order to have a chance to beat Corner Canyon. Offensively, both West and Murray struggle to score the football. So either way, whoever it is, they need to find a way to score more than 25 points in a football game, which for both those teams hasn't happened very frequently this year. This is the main reason why this is one of the weaker matchups in this first round, in my opinion. I believe that no matter who Corner Canyon plays, they're going to come out, really take it to them early, and the game is going to be over probably before the second half even starts. Now, the main reasons for that: first, offensively, Cole Hagan for Corner Canyon is a stud. I really like what he does. He, like I said, he makes plays with his arm and with his legs. He gets out and just helps that offense be explosive. Defensively, assuming they play Murray, which is who I've picked to come out of that playing game, they just need to drop 8, make sure that they don't get beat over the top, and they're going to have a great game because I don't believe Murray can beat them by running the football. All right, our last game in the 5A playoff bracket is Viewmont at Provo. My keys for Provo in this game are that they need to stop the run. They need to make Viewmont one-dimensional, and that will really help their chances in winning this game on Friday. My key for them offensively, they need to get the ball to Ben Miles Mills. He's their best offensive football player. He really makes big plays for them, whether it's running the football or in the pass game. He is a wide receiver, so they do tend to throw it to him more frequently, but he can make plays no matter where he is on the field. And that's what they need to do to get the win on Friday. Now for Viewmont, what they need to do is they need to make Provo run the football. As I mentioned, they've got Provo has Ben Miles Mills, and he's a great receiver. They've got a couple other threats that they like to throw the ball to as well. And if they are able to make Provo one-dimensional and really force them to run the football, it's going to be a long day for Provo. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, Viewmont needs to maintain its offensive balance. They've done a great job this year of having both a running game and a passing game and really complementing each other in the way of scoring points and getting victories in that northern Utah region. Now, that's easier said than done. Provo's got a good defense. They're going to make it really difficult for Viewmont to run the football, so look for that. My opinion on this game is whoever wins the battle of the trenches, whoever's offensive line or defensive line really steps up, that's going to be who wins this game. My pick in this game is Provo. I expect Provo to come out and be more physical up front and really take it to Viewmont and be able to do what they need to do to get the win. All right, so that does it for the 5A bracket. If you haven't already, subscribe, turn on your notification box, give me a like, and check out the video I'll have posted at the end of the week, which is a recap video for the game that I'll be going to on Friday, which for now is a secret. I'll tell you later. Bye.